Hi, this is Lawrence D. Adams, and today I'm talking about Bumble, Tinder, and Plenty of Fish. Mainly talking about Bumble and Tinder. Interesting thing, I set up Tinder. I set up actually Plenty of Fish first. Put up a profile, which is my profile is almost like a sales letter, and I've got that idea from Glendon Cameron. And what I did was I put it in my profile about me or put it in my about me. And it's not a sales letter like I'm trying to sell goods or anything like that, but it's almost a sales that sell what I'm interested in. You got to get more information. I can't share it right here, all right here. The other thing on Bumble, I set up precise, clear to the point what I'm looking for. Same thing, I put the same thing on Tinder. So in my profile, when it says about me, I put concise, to the point, what I'm looking for, short, and that's it. And what happens is it gets the women's attention, of course, and they want to know more. But I use certain keywords in my profile. And one of the keywords I've used is straight to the point, selective, submissive. Now, how I use those things, I'll probably share later, or maybe I share in private. But I use those three words on purpose. And so I realized it gets the women's attention, and they want to know more. Because what you want to do is get the women's attention. But back to the review I want to get at. So with the review, I noticed on Bumble and on Tinder, there are different, how can I say this? On Bumble, there are more professional women on there. They normally have office jobs, or they have their own business, or they're in management on some kind of level. And they're willing to meet someone and to get to know them and go on a date or wherever the case may be. But on Tinder, I noticed it's almost like a free fall, because you can get a wide scale of women on there, but I've noticed that the quality of women are not the same. And you end up getting trans, you get men looking for women, looking for other men, you get all kind of free fall on Tinder. And I've noticed, not with all, I don't want to say with all the women on Tinder, it's a different quality of woman on there, or professional woman on there, or quality of women on there. And then I set my range between like 18 to, I think, 30 or 40 or something like that. And you can just tell that it's just a different quality of women. And you got a lot of women on there looking for sugar daddies, or looking for just pictures. They want to just give their IG information. And I did not like, personally, I personally did not like Tinder like that. Now, what I did do with Tinder, anytime there was a match, I began to communicate immediately. And I realized I had one woman on there. She wanted to have a system set in place where I want to take it to another social media site. Because when I take it to another social media site, I actually can see and know what this woman is about. Two, I'm not about to be catfish, and I need to know everything. I need to know some things about you. So that's very important to me, because I don't have time for games or dealing with anyone like that. So even in my profiles, I have words that I use, keywords that I use. I use the straightforward, selective, and submissive. And the way I've organized those words are in a particular way that they're short and concise. Maybe I'll share it in this video or share it in this podcast, but I'm not going to share it right now. What's other thing that's interesting is on Bumble, if you communicate with the women, take it to the next level, you make them, on Bumble, the women make their first move. So you may swipe, you like the individual, the young lady, but she has to make the move whether she wants to communicate with you. Whereas in Tinder, it goes either way. So what happens now is when you communicate on Tinder, um, you both have control of who you want to communicate with. But one thing I would say is that the quality of women is completely different. There's some nice looking women, I'm not saying that are on Tinder, but what I like to do is I'm getting past just nice booty or a nice face or nice hips and all like that. You need to find out what they do for a living. Also find out what they are into, because I've seen some profiles on Tinder where there's a couple looking to be with another person and you're that third person. Now, if you're into that, no judgment zone here. I'm not into that. Not doing that. So with Tinder, it's more of a free fall, a little bit more looser, whereas Bumble, I noticed and I've watched, I swiped tons of profiles and looked. There is more professional women, a lot of moms, single moms, 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kids on Bumble, looking for what they call LTR, long-term relationship. But I realized that you have to decide what you're looking for first before you get on any of the sites. Now with Plenty of Fish, it's the same thing. There's a wider range of women on there. So you got to decipher by looking at your profile what you're looking for, and what you're looking for, this is a match for you. I will say this, with any site, you need to be very careful. You need to be very selective in who you interact with and where you meet, because it's very important. The next thing I want to talk about with Bumble is that the women on there, if you can communicate with them, they will communicate with you, and they do want to go out and meet. Whereas with Tinder, I had one woman on Tinder, interesting. She liked my profile and I liked hers. And I asked her where she was from. Oh, I'm from Detroit. I'm in Cleveland now. I said, oh, interesting. So what you doing in Cleveland? Oh, just work switch. And I looked back at her profile, realized this chick she was a stripper. That's why she was in Cleveland. And she was looking for somebody to hook up. Not going to do it. That's why it's so important that you either take them to that site, to another site, so you can see more about them. You have to get all the intel from these women. I don't care. You must become an investigator. You can't just go be blindsided or be so Google-eyed by the hips, the lips, and the fingertips. You have to know something about these women of substance. You need to find something about them. You can't be, as I was going to do a video on, you have to picture, it's an old pimp saying, you got to picture dick in your pocket. And pretty much what that means is you have to be driven by something else than your sexual need. So anyway, back to that situation. Once I called her out and said, interesting. I said, so what are you doing now? Or I will push the button. She immediately deleted me. She deleted the conversation. So with any site, you have to do your due diligence. Check Facebook on them. Check Instagram on them. Find out any intel you can about these women. Do not just settle by on sightseeing. You must find out more about them. Once you do, then you take it to the next tier and you exchange numbers. And even then, you take it to the next tier. Let me see a picture. You have to be the one that is the aggressor and the one who's qualifying them. In all of this, make sure you qualify these women. And what I mean by qualify them, you must say, are they meeting the standard that you have? Are they meeting the standard that you have? You can't go by just looks. How do they talk? What are they into? You got to find out everything that you can. You want to get as much information about them so that you know things about them that you think you don't know. I give you a situation that even today, someone on Bumble, We've been going back talking, so I'm sort of watching the conversation. I said, well, hey, why don't you add me over on this site? So she did add me on this site. I realized we had a mutual friend. So now that we have a mutual friend, I have a talking point to talk to her. But also it lets me see, now that I know her name, her full name, I'm able to check her on other places. You always want to do your due diligence to check the information that you're getting from these profiles that the women are on. Because there are men who set up profiles as women to watch how you interact. So what you got to do is you have to be smarter than the average bear. Do your homework. If you're going to do this, it takes time. This is something that you just haphazardly do. You don't get. Do your homework. Find out who they are. Get them on the phone. Talk to them. Once you talk to them, then go to make a date. Meet somewhere in public in case you got to run or she got to run. So it's very important that you do that. Well, this is Lawrence D. Adams. That's my little small review on Bumble, Tinder, and Plenty of Fish, which I really didn't go into. Talk to you later. Share, like, and have a great day.